All right, well, we were talking about these confusing polls, and I was talking to my colleague and friend, former Senator Scott Brown. Was it like that when he was running for Senate in New Hampshire? Holy cow, Senator. This
Yeah,
is
it's unbelievable, isn't it?
Now, what's the method to this? I mean, this reads like a telephone.
There's no method. You pay $1,000, you get on the ballot, period.
Really?
Yeah, you don't
But
have
it's
to have
not even
any
an alphabetical
qualifications. It's
order.
not
How
an
do they decide who gets in?
I don't quite get it, but listen, it's part of the process. First in the nation, they take it very seriously. I think you're going to have a much larger turnout over the 550,000 the Secretary predicted. I think it's going to be higher than that.
You know the conventional argument, right? It's got that benefits on the Republican side of Donald Trump, on the Democratic side of Bernie Sanders. Didn't quite work out that way. Maybe it would have been less of a great night for Bernie Sanders had he not had that great turnout in Iowa. But what do you make of that? That wisdom holds.
I think that's true here because it's a little different than Iowa. Obviously, a caucus versus an actual people are getting out and voting, hardcore. This is the first in the nation. You really get a good idea where people stand. I find it fascinating, though. I'm speaking to a lot of the Clinton supporters as I see around. A lot of Massachusetts former state reps and state senators have come up to rescue Hillary, and they're saying, well, if we lose by 10, that's a victory. But on the other hand, if Donald Trump wins by 10, that's a failure.
But they all play that expectation.
It's unbelievable.
Game, right? Yeah.
She should be a mile ahead right now, and she's losing to an avowed socialist.
I mean, he's practically a third senator, right?
She actually was proclaimed to be the anointed one, be a mile ahead at this point, and she's actually fighting for her political life.
Okay. I was thinking of you earlier when I was doing Fox Business, and which you don't get, you should demand, and our coverage tonight, Senator. Yeah. But one of the things that came, John Sununu was in here, former governor. He was over here, and he was saying how not a big fan he is of Donald Trump, as you know. So did you guys come to blows?
No, I had dinner with his son, actually. Chris Sununu was running for governor the other night. He and his wife, and I have a lot of respect for the governor, and that's the beauty of this political process.
Does the son share the dad's views?
A little bit differently. I don't think he's a Trump supporter, but he's certainly out there.
Well, you are. Were they mad at you for being?
I'm sure the governor's a little mad. You can always tell when he's kind of quiet and reserved, but I have a tremendous amount of respect for him, and that's part of the process. You go out and battle, and at the end of the day, I'm hopeful that whoever wins will all be together, because otherwise you'll have a President Sanders.
I always find this dangerous saying, establishment backlash. But when you came out and supported Donald Trump, a lot of people said, whoa, this is he's a former senator. He took down Ted Kennedy's seat. He's liking Trump. That's a big deal. It
is a big deal in that I looked at everybody. We had the barbecues. We had 10 other people there. Every one of them will make a better president than Hillary Clinton or Bernie Sanders.
Did any of those guys who had the barbecues resent you for picking?
Yeah, listen, of course. And I liked them all very, very much. But bottom line is
who resented it the most?
A lot of them resented it.
Did they say things?
Yeah, of course they did.
Nasty things?
Did
they curse at you?
No. But listen.
They did, didn't they?
No, they didn't. Okay. They didn't curse at me. But, I'm a big boy. And I told them how I felt. I said, listen, if you're the guy standing or the woman standing, I'm with you 1,000%. But bottom line is, after seeing them all, the one thing that stood out, Neil, is the fact that he's not like the others. He's going to go down there and kick butt and knock heads and kind of, shake it up. It's so static. It's so stale right now, and they just don't get things done.
When I saw you two together, I looked at this and said, hey, that could be the ticket right there.
Yeah. That's a nice picture. Where'd you get that?
Yeah, it is. But, I had Ben Carson on, and I raised this with Chris Christie. The idea that would they ever entertain a #2 spot on a ticket? Neither seemed to poo-poo it.
Of course they would. Of course they would. It would be an honor to serve in any capacity. And at the end of the day, when they put it all on the line and they battled and worked and worked and worked, we're all going to either stick together or we're going to have a President Sanders.
Yeah. So when Chris Christie jabbed you and just said, well, I have successful candidates backing me, you say.
Well, actually, I won a primary in New Hampshire. I actually won an election in New Hampshire. So factually, he was incorrect.
Right.
So I'm not quite sure.
Let it slide.
Yeah, of course. I like Chris. He's a scrapper. I mean, he's a scrapper.
If he doesn't do well here, is he in trouble here?
He's in trouble. Carly's in trouble. Gilmore shouldn't be in the race, obviously.
Okay.
That being said, Chris will make a fantastic Attorney General. Fantastic.
Oh, okay.
Nobody better. Nobody better.
The cabinet out.
I would highly recommend to whoever wins that he be picked, because he's a fantastic prosecutor and he believes it and he lives it.
I think he's still aiming a little higher.
That's pretty high. I'll tell you, that's a high honor.
All right, Scott, good seeing you.
See you tonight, Neil. See you tonight.
Thank you very much.
All right.